As a dairy farmer and chair of the recently formed Taranaki Catchment communities, Donna is a Taranaki Federated Farmers Executive and a trustee of the Dairy Trust Taranaki. Donna, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How do I read this?
Yes, so the green one, yeah. There you go. Red's black.
Tēnā koutou ko Donna Cram tōku ingoa, tēnā koutou katoa. Oh, all I can see is lights here. We started, actually I'm going to start right at the beginning. Thanks to Dairy NZ and empowering dairy environment leaders, and it's been going a long time, and I'm sure Adam would be able to say how long, but that's where I got the energy to even think about this, and seeing what Thriving Southland were doing and a few others, and the talk around our forums in Wellington. So there's a few people that really helped us begin, and you need that support at the beginning, that's for sure. People like Roger Dalrymple and Ewan Matheson and Richard Kite and Anna Nelson, Alistair Cole and Richard Parks. You know, there's so much sharing of knowledge, and that's just so important. But anyway, I'll tell you about TCC. So our vision is, you have to tell me to keep pressing the button. Our vision is flourishing rural communities. Our mission to empower and connect catchment communities. So our membership is the 13 leaders of the catchment communities, plus representation from federated farmers, Taranaki federated farmers, Taranaki young farmers, and Venture Taranaki. So Venture Taranaki have been a great support to us as well. We're a little bit different in that we haven't got land care trust resource in Taranaki, unfortunately. But yeah, so Venture Taranaki have helped us hugely with connecting to MPI and things. Our current management committee is 6 elected members, and we have a project lead who's here. No, he's down in there somewhere, sorry. And Paul Turner, and he's very good really. And 6 part-time coordinators, soon to be 7, and we have part-time administration. We don't have an office. So we have amazing people employed in this project, and a number of them are here today. So you can see with the numbers, we're pretty much connected around the Monga. We've got 13 formalised groups, and we have 1 region-wide. And we did that because we wanted financial literacy we saw as an issue for farmers going forward. Ours is it started out about helping rural communities through this change. So we're not just about water. Okay, so that's really important. So we've got the 13 groups plus a region-wide one that we can, where there's an issue, we can help in that. And we're looking to do another 2 groups soon. So our background, we're farmer-led, farmer-driven, cross-sector, ground up, and to the point of almost excluding a few, our levy players to make sure we were ground up at the beginning. And it's about long-term sustainability. So each of those groups has I'll just tell you what, so a catchment community for us, it could be a group of people connected by water or, a river or lake, but it could also be connected by social within a rural community, or special purpose. So we have a group of high altitude farmers, we call them high altitude environment group, and they've got some real challenges to face with fresh water, probably beyond what most of our other farmers have. So we're really trying to get some help in place for them. So we started off with a project report that we got some initial funding from MPI to do the report, and our strategy to date is based on this report. So each individual catchment group, they come up with their own strategy through, we had a facilitator go round, and that fed into a forward work plan, and so that fed into the work plan, and everything came under 4 key areas. So that was community, environment, farming, and economic. And something that was really clear, every community was different. And that was really surprising to us at the time. So some of these catchments are river catchments, but a number are not. Okay, so I'll just go. So a few things that we're doing: the Waitotra catchment floating wetland. So this is an economic form of constructive wetland relating to sediment reduction, nutrient uptake from farm runoff, and algae reduction, but also a hydroponic nursery and plant propagation. So that's one of the things we're doing. One of the other ones, the Mangamingi group have had dung beetle, the man from Auckland around dung beetles, and Laura was saying, she's our coordinator for that group, and she was saying it's a real practical vehicle for learning, and farmers are practical learners. So, and this is a way of intertwining water quality into their thoughts, because it is supposed to be to help phosphate, and also to help with drench resistance as well. So you know, it's not limited. And the other this is close to my heart, is agri-kids. So we've got to think of these future farmers, and they're not choosing farming anymore. Even the landowners' kids aren't choosing farming. So we decided at our local school, so part of our catchment funding is going to agri-kids at a raw school. And so it was run as an after-school program. I think we had 36, Nicola might tell me different, 36 kids coming on a regular basis, and we had 6 on a waiting list. So this is a rural school of just over 200 kids. And so it was to excite children about the food and fibre sector, give children pride in the sector their community was a huge part of, and but also, you know, real practical stuff like become farm safe and aware, practical farming, fences, even with electric fence units, and 1 or 2 to get just true. No one was hurt in the making of that. And learning about tractors, so there they are there. They were learning the parts of the tractor and about hydraulics and things, and they had to change it. You know, it's a bit like the Agri-Kids competition, and we are in touch with young farmers about this, and they're really supportive. So we've now got further funding to finish to actually write a full program and get the resources. And it's now at 2 other schools in the region, and we're hoping to take it out to a lot more, and also work with enviro schools to bring in the soils and the water ecology into it as well. So there's lots of scope there, and I think it's an exciting project. And the kids are more engaged with farming at home. So how good is that? So I was asked to talk about 3 key things. So collaboration, I think, is massive. We're not trying to build an empire in Taranaki. We're just trying to help rural communities through. And so we don't have the office, but Dairy NZ, Charlie McQuaig is here, and he supplies a desk to Paul in Stratford. We can use their meeting rooms. We can use any of the meeting rooms in Farm Source right around the region, FMG's meeting rooms, Venture Taranaki. You know, that everyone is so supportive of this project around the region. Beef and Lamb, we co-fund some things with them, like Know Your Numbers. Taranaki Regional Council are in partnership with we have a few things going on with them, so they're really supportive. And we've got a big one on the Waianaoro, and I know a couple of other catchment groups are doing it with Massey University as well. And, looking at edge of field techniques. So BDO, they've sponsored us, and they also do financial, they did some financial workshops around figured and zero. So, you can see we're doing a lot of different things. Taranaki Kiwi Trust, they've supplied traps to the Alton group because they've got a real pest problem, but they also want to join the a catchment group further up and create a nature corridor and hopefully get Kiwis into the Alton group from Bangamingi. Community, if we haven't, and I think Sam talked about that, and I think we've got to pull our communities together to create that trust, and it's magical when it happens. This year we went away back to the UK, and our staff member was left with a plan, but we had about 4 neighbours, and we could have asked many more to support her if she needed it. And the cool thing is, because she's so involved with our catchment group, she could have rung them without us having to arrange it. She knows everybody really well as well. So I think that's so important. And our catchment committee is, and I'm talking our committee now, but I think it's general over the region, is made up of 50-50 share milkers, lower order contractors. We've got a young farmer, we've got the oldest farmer, we've got the deputy principal, and we've got farm owners as well. And I think it's really important to take everyone on the ride, not just the landowners. Communication, and that's a bit of a challenge all up, really. But we're working on it. We've just kept pulling together communication strategy now. So we've only been just going over a year now, so it takes time. But we're trying to use everybody really we can, and we've realised that some of the local newspapers that aren't the main ones, they end up on the coffee table for quite a lot longer than the daily newspaper does. So we've got more chance to get to more people. And something Paul said to me before, that he sees our catchment communities as being, or TCC being a conduit between farmers and key industry bodies like TRC and DRNZ and many others. So challenges, and I've thought a lot since I've been here. Adapting to a self-funding model. Susan, not for a long time, just saying. But we all know that we really have to think about the long term of that. The rate of change, it's still massive, and I really worry about this. Time challenges for rural landowners, especially with major staff shortages at the moment. People are maybe working in their farms rather than working on their businesses, and it's pretty tough. We're seeing confusion around the rules right now, keeping abreast of technology and science, and we actually did an Agritech Day as a regional thing, and that worked really well, and I'd love to do it again next year, just looking at all the agritech that was possible and getting people really thinking ahead. And I think the agritech is exciting, and it's a bit positive too, Challenges around specialists. We've got a real shortage in Taranaki of specialists, farm system specialists, but anything really, we're short of it. So that's a real issue, and the challenge that we've talked about quite a bit, and Te Radar talked about last night, was around telling our story. And something we've talked about, and I'm not going to separate it, I'm just going to say pulling our whole community together. And I think someone talked about working with DOC. I think DOC need to really start. It would be great to have them engaging more too. So opportunities, I see civil defence planning and disaster recovery on farm, and looking at more on farm support. A young share milker the other day just put out I just need help for a day or two, and if we could have that in our community, a little committee that's maybe semi-retired, that could just go out and help for a day. Communication, it's a challenge and an opportunity. WorkSafe and Osprey, they're really keen to come and talk to our groups, and I think it would provide a neutral space and hopefully help on-farm safety as well as NAIC compliance and take some pressure off some farmers, or clarify things for farmers. More collaboration. This is fantastic. These 2 days have been amazing, and I think we need to see more collaboration between just seeing what people are doing. It's exciting what Richard was talking about yesterday, and what the other people are talking about. I think we just need to talk more. Opportunity for us, we've got the Branching Out project, which Venture Taranaki are running, and that's looking at some other alternatives that could be used on farms to diversify just small amounts of land. So they're looking at all sorts of things from hops to, I can't think of any, there's quite a few anyway. Is it, what do they make, gin? Botanicals and all sorts of things, not just alcohol though. Maybe I need one. Working more with the learning institutions, and I think we've talked about that. That's a huge opportunity for us all. And what else did I have? I think a research database, and what they've just come out with today, with specialist database, and there was something else, but it would be good to have a research database, because quite often things have already been done and we just don't know. So that would be really good too. But that's me. That is Taranaki Catchment Communities. Thank you very much.
No, that was fantastic. What an achievement in 1 year. My God, go the Naki.